for all things Halloween. This is Hauntformer, and as you all know, Halloween is right around the corner. I can almost taste it. Hannibal Lecter references aside, everybody, Halloween is getting closer and closer each day. So today, I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes about one of your favorite Halloween producing companies. That's right, today we are talking about Gemmy's, yes, Gemmy Industries, Halloween lineup for 2018. Before we get started, a few disclaimers. First of all, not all of these products will make it to final production. Sometimes the, pre-production and the prototypes don't end up making it and they get slapped to the cutting room floor. So keep that in mind. Second of all, I don't have all of the images for this year, so there are plenty of more props that aren't on this list. I just wanted to provide you with enough of them. And finally, a huge thank you to the Gemmy Archives for providing all of these images in this video. I couldn't have done this video without them, so please check them out. A link will be in the description below. They post modern and way back Gemmy images that you can check out on their website. It would be a good idea to check them out, especially if you're a Gemmy fan. All that being said, let's jump into the video and take a look at 4 different types of brand new Gemmy products. We of course have inflatables, life sizes, tabletops, and lighting. Let's go. Before we jump into it, I just want to let you know I have my handy dandy phone that I'll be looking at because the list is kind of extensive and I want to make sure I get everything on the list. I'll pop up images on the screen so you can see them for yourself. Let's jump into the inflatables, and up first we have a really cool licensed inflatable. We have Jack and Zero from The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a really cool looking inflatable. I think this is one of the best ones we have seen for this year. I love that they're including both Jack and Zero. It kind of makes a whole scene display in and of itself, but I'm glad we get more Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Ever since they got the rights to that movie, they've been making a lot of good products. That's really cool to see. We are also getting a new Groot inflatable. Now, I'm not sure what Groot entirely has to do with Halloween, but since Infinity War came out, it's only fitting that we see more superhero type stuff, and Groot is no exception. I absolutely love that it says Happy Halloween on the pot. It just is a cute inflatable, and especially for Marvel fans, this will be one to pick up for sure. We also are getting a brand new Black Cat inflatable. This one looks very similar and very familiar to a lot of the older inflatables that Gemmy did. I'm glad that they're returning to a very basic and simple symbol of Halloween. We also are getting a brand new creepy tree, as I like to call it. What I love about this tree is the color. I can't tell if this is a blacklight inflatable, but regardless, the color is great. I love the creepy face. I've always been a pretty big fan of creepy trees. This would be really cool to have out on your lawn, and I can't wait to see this in store shelves and on lawns, obviously. And finally, we have the orange gargoyle rounding out the inflatable section. I love the look of this gargoyle. It has 2 great things going for it. It's a gargoyle, which we don't often see in inflatables, and it's orange, which is the perfect color for Halloween and for the fall season. Now, we're moving into the life-size props, and there are quite a few. Up first, we have the Top Hat Skeleton. This is a really neat character, a bit of a family-friendly character. He has a lot of Halloween-y stuff going for him, with the orange color and the fact that he's a skeleton. Very neat character. And we also have the Knee-Bent Monster. I believe I saw this guy at HauntCon, though it was kind of hard to point out because, I mean, there was a lot going on at HauntCon, but I do remember seeing this guy. He's maybe about 5 to 6 feet tall, and definitely more on the cartoony side, more geared for younger audiences, which I really dig because, we have to have stuff for the younger Halloween enthusiasts too, and I'm glad that they're including some more kid-friendly characters rather than a lot of gory monsters. We also are getting a new creepy girl. I can't tell from the image if this thing is supposed to pop up or rise, but I'm going to go on the assumption that it's likely going to rise, as a lot of Gemmy props do rise. and the creepy girl look of this character just adds to the likability of it. We are also getting a new flying Wicked Witch. This is perhaps the coolest of the new life sizes. Now, a few years ago, we did see a life-size Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, but this one is flying on her broomstick. I do remember this vividly from HauntCon, and I'm really excited to see it in stores because I think it's going to be a great seller. Now moving on to the tabletops, and there are a lot of these guys, but, you know, we need to talk about all of them, so let's jump into it. Up first, we have two very iconic classic Disney characters, Mickey and Minnie. Now, these aren't totally scary or creepy, but they are very kid-friendly, and I can definitely see people picking these up to have in their family display. If they have younger children, I really think that these are good characters to include, so why not? We're also getting a brand new, and this is one of my favorite ones, Jack Skellington. I love the, you know, plush look of him, the fact that he's cute, but he also is a very iconic Halloween character, so it's nice that we're getting one of those kind of characters included in this lineup. We also are getting two new singing props. I believe they are singing anyways. The first is this really neat looking hamster. I'm not exactly sure what this hamster will play or sing. I have a feeling though that it's going to be something high-pitched and possibly annoying, but also kind of catchy at the same time. And we're also getting a Reaper with a saxophone. I've heard a few rumors about what this thing may sing, but I would most likely put my money on something that revolves around a meme, because Gemmy seems to love memes and pop culture references, so we'll see. We're also going to be getting a few new radios. I love these two new designs. The first one is one of the radios with the skull inside. We saw a few of these last year, but I really like this new design with the very simple red and gray color palette that we're seeing on this one. And we're also seeing another one that is an older fashioned looking radio with a very wooden looking color scheme. Very simple and very effective. I really do like it. We are also going to be getting a new on-air microphone. This is a radio announcer mic. I know we saw one of these last year at Target, but I really like the look of this one. It's much more geared for like a radio show host or talk show host. I think it's a really interesting way they designed this one and a cool kind of concept going around it. We're also going to be getting a brand new phone box. This is a dial-up phone box, a very classic looking phone box. I'm not exactly sure what the audio is going to be. I assume it's going to be the generic phone audio, but in this new, larger type scale prop, I can see it being a good seller. And on the line of phones, get it? Line? Never mind. We are also getting another phone. This one is a more vintage style of phone. I love the skeletons on it. I would love to see a traditional looking version of this phone, but the fact that you have to pick it up and listen with the one end of the telephone makes it really interesting and something that collectors will also be looking out for.